Okay, so we're going to change things up a little bit. So I'm sitting here on a 2009 Pontiac G8 GXP. It was a low freshwater flood. Bought it out of Houston about a year ago, and I figured it would be relevant now with the 2 hurricanes that we had this year. People might be thinking about buying a flood car. Want to know what you're getting into. Well, this one was low level. It sucked it up into the intake, just got over the floorboards, got the carpet wet. Not a huge deal. I'm not real optimistic. Somebody started working on it before I got to it, and they stopped for some reason. Probably because it needs a motor. But hey, we're gonna try and save this one. So first thing you want to do is drain the oil. Already done that, as you can see. There was more water in it than oil, so I threw in some clean oil and a new filter, which, should this motor start, is going to stay in there for about 15-20 minutes, and we're going to change it again. What we would want to do then is pull the spark plugs out and crank the motor over. Now this is going to push any of the water that's in the cylinders out. Somebody's already done that, which is where the problem starts. Because they did that and they left the plugs out, you have bare metal and water and air. You get rust. So the pistons are now seized into the cylinders because a coating of rust has built up on top of it. I'm going to show you a trick I learned. It seems to work. So first things first, I'll show you what we're dealing with here. Now I got the breaker bar on the crank. It doesn't move. I can get a bigger breaker bar and try and make it move, but we're going to damage things that we're going to try to save. So what we're going to do, and I am by no means trying to plug this, but it works. Other stuff may work, but I've used this many times and I know it does work, and it's Marvel Mist Oil. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it into each cylinder with my custom funnel that I made. It's just a power steering hose with a funnel at the end so that I can put it in the spark plug hole. We're going to fill up each cylinder. It's going to make a mess. It's probably going to go everywhere. Now each cylinder is going to take a different amount depending on where it's at. If it's at the top, it's going to take barely any. If it's at the bottom, you're going to have to fill the cylinder. Now comes the easy part. We're gonna leave this sit at least 24 hours. This one I'm gonna let sit for a couple days. It takes time for it to work its way in there. But when it does, we might be surprised. Or it might still be stuck. I don't know. We'll find out in a couple seconds for you. It's gonna be a couple days for me, so see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. See if our little magic trick worked. It's been a few days, but it's just been sitting here. So let's give it a shot. It's free. The longer you let it sit, the better chance you have of it freeing up that easy. Sometimes if you jump the gun and you do it too soon, it'll be free and you'll have to work it back and forth to kind of break away some of that rust. The oil will help you. If you let it sit, it soaks through and seems to turn a lot faster. This is actually pretty easy. And the oil is coming out of the spark plug holes, so you don't want to go too fast because as I go, it pushes it out into the drain pan down below. But You just want to go around a couple revolutions, make sure everything's good. If you encounter anything, like I said, just go back and forth. You don't want to crank it and get it stuck because you can only go one direction. If you try going the other direction, I'm going to loosen up the nut on the crankshaft. Then I got to climb under there and use the flywheel to turn it over. And something stopped it. We're going to back it off a little bit. And it's spinning pretty free. I was not expecting it to stop, honestly. Back in the same place. That's not rust holding it. It's got a different feeling to it. So I'm going to call it. This one's dead. There could be a couple reasons. Nice, simple, just debris in the cylinders. Sucked up water. Who knows what else it could have sucked up. Could be a valve hanging open. The piston's coming up and hitting the valve, which is why I didn't crank on it too hard because I don't want to bend the valve if that's all it is. It could be a bent connecting rod. The rod's coming up, hits the side of the block, doesn't have enough room to go past it. I won't know until I take it apart. So we're going to swap this one out. After this one's out, I'll take it apart and give you the final diagnosis. I could rebuild this one. It's cheaper and faster for me to put a used motor. And so we'll have a time lapse of that and I'll let you know what I find on this one. As you can see, it was a bent connecting rod. Had the motor been free, we would have put the spark plugs back in it, ran it for about 10-15 minutes, shut it off, change the oil and the filter, and then run it for another 50 miles, and then change the oil and filter again. After that, you should be good to go back to your regular oil change intervals. You will see this car again. There will be a part 2. Right now it's in storage. I live outside of Chicago, and I don't want to drive this car in the winter. The salt just eats up cars around here. So when it comes back out, the next video will be straightening the quarter, the door, putting the interior in it, and doing some maintenance work. It needs a drive shaft, motor mounts, radiator condenser, brakes, tires. Now comes the part where I'm going to make you guys work. Did you like this video format? If you did, let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't, tell me there too. I'm trying to tailor videos to what you guys want to see. Let me know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. It takes a little longer to edit these videos, but if it's what you guys want to see, I'll do my best. I do have some ideas for how-to videos, how to do everything I do from start to finish. Picking out a car, determining its value, finding parts, fixing the car, and selling the car. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know. I have no intention of stopping the monthly time-lapse videos. These videos would be in addition to that. If there's something you want me to change about the time-lapse videos, tell me too. This is going to be kind of a learning experience video for both of us. Hopefully. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month.